Hi guys. Welcome to our Marketing Cloud Growth series. So last time we covered Until brand. So today we'll cover everything in email. So as usual, we go to the Content tab. We select our workspace that we created before, Workspace x86.1. This is the folder where our content is, folder test 1. As you can see, the brand that we created last time, the green brand. Now today we're going to create an email, so click on Add Content, then we select Email and Create. So our canvas is ready. So this is where we'll create our email that we're going to send to our audience. On the left side, you can see the components that we will use in our email. You can see the button, the divider, the heading, the HTML, the list, the paragraph, the layout, the media, the subject line, the preheader. On the right side are the properties of your email. So we're going to give the result of our email. Let's say, so this would be our email 1. That's just the DP and M. Not content specific, so we can add email 1. So description, the testing email. Now here we have promotional and transactional. Promotional emails, those are the ones where you want to create an awareness about something, maybe marketing. Maybe you want a newsletter or something, those ones you use promotional. And then transactional emails are the ones that do not require opt-in. For example, password reset. We have order confirmation emails. So those ones are transactional. Likewise, we have also the same functionality in Salesforce Marketing Cloud engagement. The promotional emails in engagement are called commercial emails. Transactional, just the transactional email. So like here, the configuration is different for both. Of course, promotional emails, you have to include the unsubscribe and the email preference center link and also the organization. The transactional ones, you don't need them. So we'll start with the promotional ones, and then I will show you how to configure the transaction dynamic content. So this one is, if you want to view like if you want to preview a different subject line or a different image, you can use dynamic content based on your audience. So subject line, once you click on this pencil icon here, you'll be protected the subject line at the bottom right here in the preheader. So our subject line you can see is test subject line. It's good also because in a marketing email, it's good to have a preheader also. Preheader section. Done. Now, I think these are the basics, the layout, the image, it says what. So you just drag it to the, for example, our heading, you can drag the header here. And then you can type something like, say, welcome to SFMC Growth. You can decide to center it. You can choose to increase the heading 2. You can style your header, the text, the colors of your header. Likewise, if you think you don't like the headings, you can just choose a custom one. You can choose the font family of the header, maybe Calibre if you want to. Font size also, you can make it huge. You can make it any way you want, custom size. And you can change the size of the, let's say, for example, you can put it 40, 50 if you think so, custom value. But let's put it at 32. Everything bold, underline, italics, and everything. You have the colors here, the layout, and as well as the border. So those are what you can perform on this component here. You can as well add an image. So you click on Add Image on your right-hand side. You can select the folder, you can choose this image, or you can click a new one. Let's say New Image. New Image 1. I'm just going to leave it as the API still. You can upload from the device. I'll choose which image. I'll have oldest. I'll take this one. Let me take this one. And you can click on Done. Then you can save. Once the image is done, if you want, you can add a link to the image here. That is, if somebody clicks on the image, it takes them to another, like a different site. You can add also a paragraph as well. I mean, you can just play around with the components. For example, I'll just say, welcome to SF Music World. This is a promotional email. The promotional email. And then as well, you can center the paragraph. You can align it the way you want. As well, you can change the style of the paragraph. If you don't like you can choose custom. You send the font, maybe Georgia or something, Caloria. Then, of course, you can make it small. If you don't want small, you can make it custom. You can make it 20 if you want. Yeah, that is done. You can add a button. So this button, I put it somewhere, so you can add a button as well. The text of the button. So here, let's say maybe you can name the button as Google. You can configure the button if you want. Link to self or CMS content, or link to URL. You can add the URL here, maybe www. So that's the button part. I don't need the button, so I just remove it. So another important thing, this is a personalization email. If, for example, if you try to send this email, save it, then try to publish. We'll get an error. You see, you can't spam for this, so we need to add a physical address in the body as well as the unsubscribed link. So here, to add the organization address, you just click on this Add Merge field here. Then you go to Organization, then you select the physical address. As well, you're required to add the unsubscribed, so we can type here unsubscribe. Universal preferences. Now, unsubscribe link, we select the text and then we click on this insert link. So in the insert link, you add a merge field here. You click on add merge. Add merge field there. Then you select the link, then you click on unsubscribe. It's supposed to be here, add merge field and subscribe. This is the text, this is the URL. Click Done. Likewise for the preferences. Just click on that icon, add merge field, select the link, then preference management, and then done. Now, of course, and again, you can add a personalization strings as well if you want. For example, hi, and you want to add a first name. Now, to use a personalization string, you have to configure the data graph in Data Cloud. So I'll show you later part how to do that. But now just click on this and then select Data Graph attribute. So you want, like, for example, the first name. You can choose the primary object here, the direct attribute first name. So API field name, you can say test first name. For the content, you can say hi customer, something that makes sense. So hi customer, that's the fallback. Just in case, like the first name is not populated. Now, once that is done, you click on Save Your Promotional Image. You can preview your promotional image. Wait for it to load. Of course, when it's loading, you can select the segment that you want. So I already created some test segments on a later platform. I will show you how to create the segments when we reach the segmentation part. So I'll select this. The content is still loading. Then you can see the sample recipients here. You can choose menu. So you see test 1, test 1. So test 1 is the first name. Test 1 is the last name. So if I choose this, for example, test 1, let's wait for it to load. Yep. Hi, test 1. Welcome to SFMC Growth. Now the image is not showing. So go back, go to our image, select new details. The image is not showing. So most probably, it should have published. So we have to publish. Click on Next. Publish now. No, once that is done, you can go back and save our content again. Let's see if this time we will see the image. And preview. And here we select, now the image is showing. That is after we published and everything. We'll choose the segment here. Select, for example, test 3. You can see, hi, test 3. Let's just, for example, different segments. Let's see which segment that has this one. Unified Demand, SFMC Growth Demo. Let's do anything. Hi, test 3. Welcome to SFMS Growth. This is about a promotional email. And then take a look. You see the organization, parties. It has picked up the organization physical address. Then subscribe link, the preferences. So I'm going to choose the one that I created before. Then I'm going to choose the sample, like for example, test 1. And test out the subscribe link. You can click on it and see. Now enter a valid URL and try again. So what we'll do a test send. Let's say, for example, I'll choose Douglas. Minor. I can add another one. I can add my email address as well. Gmail address at gmail.com. We have 2 of them. It's just the first one. This one is sub-configured. And then I'll do a send test. So wait. Not yet. Not yet. So I think I'm going to wait for that. So I tried with my send this, the sub-authenticated, and then I tried also with this, the default one. So I'm going to open my Gmail and show you the one with general tricks. So this one before. The image is not, the image is loading. So let's wait for it. You can see this, how it looks like, the test one. And then another one is this one. This one is from SDA, send a profile. This one was from Douglas, my Genetrix. So Genetrix domain is authenticated in this. So here we can test out the unsubscribe button here. If you click unsubscribe, you see successfully unsubscribe. This was on click thing. And that's also for the preferences as well. You can check if it is working. So currently we have two. You remember like when we unsubscribed, it removed these guys. So we can just update it again. Bring them back. And then it will be updated successfully. Now that is for like a promotional email. Now really quick to show you how like where the preferences are. If you see here on the consent tab, click on the consent tab. It's loading, but this is what you see. You can see this content sent. We have preference pages and subscription consent imports. Let's say this one. Let's say now you have like a contact or a lead inside Marketing Cloud Growth. You're going to receive emails. For example, let's take test one. Test one. If you scroll down to the bottom right, you'll see +1, Douglas Main at Gmail, 148 marketing, opted in. To opt someone in, whether you have 10, 20, 50, or 1,000 leads, import them to Marketing Cloud Growth for emails, including the consent field set to opt in. That's what you do here. Click import and their status will update. I'll demonstrate this in a later video. This was adjusted, by the way. Next, the preferences, pages, and subscription. Here's where you include all subscriptions you want your audience to sign up for. You can include any, you can add another like test sub. Test sub 3. Let's say this one's a newsletter. Newsletter. Channels, email or SMS. You can have both or just one. If you select email and proceed, it'll appear here once created successfully. Next time someone clicks on preferences, the other option will show up here. The third option will appear here once your content is published. For now, we have these newsletter updates, tests, and marketing options. That's what I created here earlier. I'll delete this one since I don't need it. That was for promotional purposes. Now let's move on to transactional emails. I'll just go back. In the content section, we'll create a new email. This one will be quick. Transactional email. For the name, let's use transact1. The query is transaction1. We'll leave the description blank. For promotion, we'll select transaction. For the subject line, let's use welcome to transaction. Or trans welcome, something like that. Let's check this setup. The content should be different, so I'll just use a paragraph here. Okay, I'll select some needed text. Let me look at the options, maybe this one. Let's get this text from the support team. Yeah. Now, let's see. I'll just add. I'll make the text a bit larger. Here, we'll allow these to be personalization streams. We call them merge fields here. In Marketing Cloud, they're personalization streams, but here they're merge fields. So let's add a merge field. Select the data graph primary object and first name. First name test, fallback to customer, and we're done. This is now set up for the transaction. We don't need to add anything else, like no need for unsubscribe link, preferences, or organization. Just click Save Now. Oh, one last thing before I forget. Remember the brand we selected earlier? If I click the brand, this green box, choose it, then add, see? The content will pick up the brand we created last time. That's if you want, but I don't know the brand, so I'll just remove it. Now, once you've saved it, we save it again. Publish. This time, click Next. Publish now. After that, we preview. As usual, select our test. Let's say, for example, test 1. By test 1. Then maybe choose another, like test segment 1, for instance. This one has a list of people's names. So Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. On our new data program, do. Now we send a test email. Select Douglas Mina at 1481marketing.com. Let me just do the email, douglasmina140@gmail.com, and you can list multiple test emails, so type them correctly. Then choose your sender, like Douglas, and send it. We'll wait for it to appear in the inbox. Give it a moment. I've selected both the default and the other. Now let's look at this one. Hi, Kimberly. You see? We don't need the unsubscribe link or preferences, but it'll work fine. This one's promotional, the other's transactional with the default sender profile. We're done with the transactional and promotional emails. The last thing I'll show you in this video is the sending part, how to send the email. Of course, we can send emails through flows. We can create multiple flows. The first step is to create a campaign. Just create a new campaign here. Let's say this is your parent campaign. I'll name it Genetrix Test Campaign. This is the first campaign we're creating. Then click on Save. Once inside the campaign, you'll create a brief and details. On the right, you'll see brief, details, related, campaign members, flows. Now you've got options to send a single email, message series, sign-up forms, SMS, or create blank emails or events. We'll focus on sending a single email. Let me show you how. Here, you start with the trigger. You can select a segment or send to campaign members. Those are your two options. I'll pick a segment I've already set up. I'll select this one, ingreditist one, and save it. Now you've got an email template ready. You can edit this one or choose an existing template. Let's use an existing one. Let's pick now we have the transactional one, and then you'll test either of the two. I'll choose the promotional one. For the promotional one, you now have to choose the from name. Of course, the from name is mandatory for both email types. Now let's look at the communication subscription. Remember the two options in the consent form? You can choose either marketing or newsletter. We'll choose marketing. For transactional emails, this option isn't available. Next, you can either schedule the campaign, perhaps for tomorrow at a specific time. You can select your time zone, or you can send it immediately. Once you click Send Now, you can activate the segment right before running it, if that's what you want. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting videos coming your way.